us retrace the main events in the audio frequency circuit. The microphone brings about a pulsating direct current. The transformer changes this to an alternating current. Vacuum tubes amplify this alternating current, which then goes to the modulator.
Molecules containing more than one atom can rotate and vibrate. Sometimes vibration is simple in form. We can see that each vibrational mode has a different frequency, and all of the patterns of vibration may be different. Each of the vibrations is a simple harmonic motion.
The same peaked wave triggers a pulse-forming circuit, which creates a new waveform, pulses with flat tops. Notice that throughout these changes, the exact subdivisions of our second and time have not been lost. We still have precisely the same number of positive peaks per second.
Pulsating direct current. Pulsating direct current.
If the sine wave's frequency is 1,000 cycles a second, we have actually divided 1 second into 1,000 equal parts. But in this sine wave, it's impossible to tell where each thousandth of a second begins and ends. That's why it's changed into this, a peaked wave, which can be measured from positive peak to positive peak.
The microphone brings about a pulsating direct current. Vacuum tubes amplify this alternating current, which then goes to the modulator.
The number of times a given molecule moves back and forth in 1 second is the frequency of the wave. In one complete vibration, indicated here by the bracket, sound travels a distance of 1 wavelength. The velocity of any sound wave equals its wavelength times its frequency.
The number of possible modes of vibration a molecule may have is determined by the number of atoms it has. And all of the atoms executing this motion are moving in phase, passing through their center or equilibrium positions at the same instant.
Let us
Welcome, guys, to the first ever Scary Movie Awards. I'm excited. It's officially spooky season, and I couldn't have had a better panel join us. We are joined by a beautiful lady, the nun.
You look so good, Shiro. You look so good.
This is what happens when you tell your wife to calm down.
Okay, so I didn't get the memo to dress up. We got Father Mirren, the nun, Dia de los Muertes, the kid from E.T., and then
put on your
Midwest
Magneto
dad.
helmet back there. Yeah.
Father Ego, man. I was
yeah, I'm everyone's dad. Hi.
Yeah, Midwest dad.
All good, guys. I'm excited. So we've got a few categories that we're going to be going over, but just wanted to show you first off that we will be giving away the coveted Scully today for the categories of Best Makeup, Best Possession, Best Villain, and Movie of the Year. This selection is going to be for 2002 for Movie of the Year. When we do this in 2025, we'll choose Movie of the Year for the year 2024 from, October 19th of this year till, 2025 in October when we do it next year. I'll run down the rules, what we got set up. But first, let's check in with the chat. Man, Jacob Irontown was in early. Thank you, sir. Dempsey's around y'all to like and share. Stream out on your socials. Thank you very much. And double check.
John.
Oh, man, Johnny Douglas. Away we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And man, what's scary is the fact that Philly could lose the Cowboys twice.
Oh goodness,
bro! That'll be my only hope at this rate. Just y'all go into it against you guys as my bragger rights for the year when I go back to Philly. All right, Ian Sassy Sasquatch. Thank you.
hey, right?
Sassy.
Dude, actually, I thought if I was gonna be a wrestler, I was gonna be like the choir boy, and then my heel turn was gonna be the pastor or the priest. But in recent events, I can't do that. So
Yeah,
you're right.
Whoa. Yeah.
You're getting into dark lore already.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, guys. So the way that we've got this set up is we all chose 5 of the nominees for each of our categories, and we're going to rank them from 5th place to 1st place. 5th place is worth 1 point, 4th place is worth 2, so on and so forth, so that your number 1 choice is worth 5 points. We're also going to be reaching out to the chat. We'll take the majority decision on that, and their pick is worth 2 points. The nominee with the highest point total wins the Scully. All right. So, guys, we are going to start off. I guess, you know what? Let's start off with Nadia in her bag for Best Makeup. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Please bear with me on this, guys. I'm going to be like Roman for a few moments. If y'all want to write these nominees down too, you can, but I'm going to show you what I got. And let's do this. If I put it over here. There we go. Better idea. All right, y'all give me 1 second here. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. Here's my attempt, guys. All right. All right, so first up, we've got The Substance.
You're sharing that screen.
Am I still sharing the screen?
But it's right. Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. Man, Roman and I have a lot in common. Okay. So The Substance for 2024. Go ahead, Nadia. Can you? For each movie, if you guys, for your category, if you want to explain what the movie was about on there and why this is one that was a nominee for you.
Yeah. So this movie came out in the last 2 months now. In the last month or so. It's the tip of the iceberg. It's basically about beauty standards in Hollywood, but I would say it flows outside of Hollywood too, just beauty standards that women have to deal with as we age. The reason why I put this on it is that most of it is practical effects within the movie, and especially the ultimate form of Elizabeth and Sue, which you see on the screen, which is I think it's called the Eliza Sue or something. I can't remember exactly what they call her, but a monster. It's very Cronenberg influence on this. So that's why I put it there. It's really good. Like, I highly recommend seeing this movie. I'm trying not to give away much of this movie. I really recommend. It is definitely one of 2024 that I recommended seeing in theaters or like buying this. Like, I'm gonna buy a copy of this. I rarely buy copies of movies. I will be buying a copy of this one.
Okay. All right. Next up, we've got is. Sorry.
American Werewolf in London.
London.
Easy to explain. The transfer scene. When he transforms into the werewolf for the first time, that scene is iconic. A lot of people in the special effects industry that I grew up with started and was interested in it just based off this scene. So again, practical effects still holds up to this day. I recently watched it again. I think it's better than some of the CGI effects that have come since then with werewolves. So yes,
far and away.
All right. Next up, we've got is. This is the thing. I had to do all three forms of this one just to get everyone to see how they did the practical effects on this one. But go ahead, take it away with The Thing, Nadia.
So The Thing is my number 2 movie of all time. It is the reason why I started practical effects and getting into special effects. John Carpenter's The Thing, again, similar to American Werewolf in London, holds up to the test of time. You watch it now, and again, it's still better than some practical effects and CGI effects that are happening nowadays in horror. So if you have not seen it, I highly doubt. I think most of the chat probably has, but if you have not seen it, I would recommend seeing it.
Okay. And lastly, do we have one here?
Second to last.
Second to last. I apologize. Second to last we've got is When Evil Lurks. We're going to have to check this out. This is a South American one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Again, use of practical effects, it's really disgusting, which I liked. There is a scene where an individual is very bloated and possessed. They use possessions in this almost like diseases in this movie. Highly recommended. It's just great. I love it. It's gross. It's unnerving. You'll have to watch something happy after watching this movie.
All right. That's our type. And the last one we've got on here is Malignant.
So the first time I watched Malignant, I did not like it. On a second watch, I actually enjoyed it a lot more. So James Wan taking it to under 80s horror movies. Again, a lot of practical effects into it. Gross. But out of the 5, this would be on the bottom of my list.
Okay, so let me go. So I guess that's give us your 5 is Malignant. 4 is who?
4 will probably be When Evil Lurks.
Okay. Third place we got?
Would probably be The Substance.
All right. I know second is The Thing, and American Werewolf in London is
The Thing overall is my second movie, like my personal pick. But The Thing would be number 1 on this list, and American Werewolf would be second.
Gotcha.
Just the chest scene. I don't know if anybody's seen where he's like, and he breaks into the chest. It still holds up so well.
So they used a real life double amputee for that scene, and the arms are made out of like jelly filled with blood, and the bones are made out of like gelatin. So they actually amputate the dude's like fake arms like there.
Wow.
Oh, that's wild. So
that's kind of a mind trip.
So Sammy, you're next up with so give me your 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 out of best makeup. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go.
You want to see him again?
I mean, the one is always gonna be it, or The Thing. I mean,
all right. Yeah, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, who you got 4th, or your second best?
Second best. Everyone's been raving about The Substance. I have not seen the film yet, but Nadia's praise is enough for me. And I mean, she's the one that I would trust on that. Third was
you got American Werewolf, When Evil Lurks, and Malignant.
Oh my God, no! I'm sorry. Second is American Werewolf. Second's American Werewolf. Third is The Substance. I mean, I just love American Werewolf. Sorry. Third is The Substance. 4th would be
Evil Lurks or Malignant.
Evil Lurks. Yeah, I loved Evil Lurks. Yes, and yeah, there's certain effects. I didn't really care for Malignant, but I know the part that she's talking about, and I remember that being radical for the movie. But yeah, that's always going to be my last pick. I just found the movie to be kind of predictable.
Yeah.
I ruined a lot of parties going like Evil Twin, right?
It's better on a rewatch. It's better on a rewatch. I'm telling you.
I'll give it a rewatch.
It's a funny
I
movie.
will say one thing I wanted to add about American Werewolf in London is the friend. I love his makeup because like he decays more and more as the movie goes on. Yes. That's all.
So Stupenzo, who you got for your 5? Who's in
All
fifth
right.
place?
Yeah, from the bottom up. Yeah, I'd have to say Malignant because I remember watching Malignant. It's a funny movie. It's definitely worth a watch, but nothing really like wowed me in the makeup department. I remember just thinking that looks good, you know? So 5th place for Malignant. 4th place would be When Evil Lurks. I did get that wow factor for that fun, especially with the big fat possessed guy on the bed in the beginning. You're like, whoa. That is like when you get that kind of reaction, it's great. Yeah, and then 3rd place would be The Substance, because even though top 3 movie of the year for me, I gotta say The Substance wasn't breaking new grounds with the makeup, but it was just like a reminder of how great practical effects that we've been using for 40 years can look. We need to pivot back to that kind of stuff. And yeah, 2nd place would be American Werewolf in London because, you know, the transformation scene got a standing ovation. It's the reason why the best makeup Oscar exists. You got Rick Baker. They literally created that Oscar category after that movie came out. So that's awesome. And then, yeah, number 1 would have to be The Thing because Rob Bottin basically drove himself crazy. He overworked himself to the point of exhaustion, extreme malnourishment. He had a bleeding stomach ulcer from working too hard on that movie. And it was great in terms of like, you know, making a werewolf is always awesome, but we know what a werewolf looks like. The Thing was like your imagination running wild, you know, and Rob Bottin, he's got a effed up imagination, man. So yeah, I have the same exact list as Nadia and Sammy, basically.
All good. So my love, honey, who is your top 5 from what we've got and what you wrote down?
Just remember, I'm possessed. Okay, don't
blame everything on that.
Okay, from the bottom up.
Oh yeah, who's 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd?
Okay, first? I'm gonna do The Substance.
It's 5th place.
It was a great reminder, but there's better.
Okay.
And then Malignant.
Okay, 2 points.
I specifically just remember the picture that you put up, and then I don't really remember much else from it. And then I'm gonna put The Thing, because for me it was imaginative, but I like more real. I don't know. It was too much for me. And then the When Evil Lurks, number 2, and then the Wolf movie.
4. All right, and that. All right, so I'll round it out. So for me, 5th place, I will probably give to Malignant, because again, I remember that scene too. 4th place, I will give to maybe The Substance. For 3rd place, I will give to When Evil Lurks because I did like the fact it looks practical. 2nd is American Werewolf in London. And The Thing is probably going to be the top one for me just because I don't know if y'all remember this, like in the 80s, things would look wet with the prosthetics too. With a weird, it's like, why is it greasy? And it
makes it look alive.
It's KY jelly, by the way, most of the time.
Is that what that
funny.
is?
Yeah, it's most of the time it's KY jelly. Yeah.
The way Sammy3peat feels about food that moves is with me that greasy things that crawl.
I don't like those either.
Yeah, who was the special effects makeup artist and for what movie where like there was someone saying, I don't know if this is gonna look real. He's like, when I cover this in slime, it's gonna come alive, dude. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, everybody. That's what I'm taught in school too. When I was in school, they're like fantasy and horror creatures are easier than like realistic. Like if you can nail down like turning somebody into somebody from the past or changing someone's appearance to be more realistic, you are like a goat. But for horror and creature designs, like if you do a mistake, you can literally cover it up with slime, blood, or like a different color if you need to add to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So so far we put it to the chat to decide on here. So far, I think we've got pretty much the thing. So much get the 2 points on that one. I think we'll take that one and see what we got. So guys, the winner of the Scully, if you want to present it, my love. The winner of the Scully for best makeup with a total of 24 points is the thing. Right.
Zero.
As
I
it should
can't.
be.
Yes, I'm gonna get my let me get my applause in here. Hold on.
I love it.
All right. So next one we've got up here. Let me knock all these out. I'm gonna have tons of boomer moments tonight, guys.
It's okay.
I'm gonna toss this one actually to Shiro. So Shiro will be going through. You had best villain, my love. So
I
give me a
did.
second here. Bring all these up. These are slow. All right.
Is it them or you?
What is them or you? You. This was your category.
No, I meant you said it was slow.
You have been flaming me all day. This is what this is for. This is for you.
Goodness.
We're about to go to church, and she was like, "You sure you're gonna be okay with that jacket? Well, looks like it's wheezing."
He
So,
just looks so uncomfortable.
flaming me all day. All right, so my love, you've got this one here. Bring it up, and all right. So first one you've got up for best villain is not all these. First one up we've got is Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Yeah, this one obviously a classic. I'm a huge Jack Nicholson fan. The movie was kind of long, but this guy does a really good job of becoming the bad guy in the film, from dad to bad guy. And of course, he has the iconic scene where he's like, "Here's Johnny." So, do I have to tell you now which one, or do I describe each one?
No. I'm just gonna run you through. Like,
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So next up we've got. Okay. I gotta get y'all pray for me. Hold on.
There you go.
There we go. Working backwards. Next we've got is Pazuzu, the Exorcist.
Yeah, of course, another classic. I really like a lot of the classic villains. For me, The Exorcist was one of the best possession movies. So I don't think he needs much more explaining, honestly.
I mean, he's the literal devil, so like
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
Who is the devil? That's it.
Actually, he's the Sumerian god of the east.
demon. Yeah. I get it.
All right.
No, you know what? You know another thing, Shiro. I also think it's one of the best book adaptations I've ever seen.
That's right. We were talking about that the other day. One of the best book adaptations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Pennywise. I chose the 1990 version. There's no way in hell I'm putting the Skarsgård one up. I'm not hating. It's just the only thing scary to me about him was that big ass forehead. I'm sorry.
What do you got against big ass foreheads?
I know, right?
Yo, that was the only thing that was scary. They should have put the eyes and the clown nose up there. That was more scary to me than the rest of his face.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, so I'm an 80s baby, so a lot of these are going to be because they hold a lot of nostalgia for me. And I can't really think of any of new villains that really trump these ones. So Pennywise for me, not my absolute favorite, but the fact that they feed on children's horrors. And when I watched it, I was thoroughly freaked out.
Have you ever read the book, Shiro?
No, I was afraid to.
I will say there are parts of the book when I had to step away and I would switch between audio and actually reading it. And when it get really intense in audio, I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn this off and just pull the book up because I'm like in my own head right now.
Oh wow, yeah. I was afraid. Some of the scenes stick with me from when I was a kid, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
All right. So after that, we have got Candyman. I just
Oh,
saw
I'm
yesterday.
from Chicago. That's my dude.
Yeah. So this one, again. One, I think E.G.O really pointed it out yesterday why he is so creepy. And a lot of the scenes you don't hear him walking. There's only maybe one scene where you actually hear him kind of like stomping, but he walks silently. His voice when he talks is real breathy. He's almost. This is gonna sound real creepy. He's almost like this romantic character.
What?
Yeah.
Sexy horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. Nadia's feeling me right now.
This is our race-based fantasy, right? Is that what this is?
No.
You got the wrong costume on, E.G.O. Got the wrong costume on.
And then, I mean, just all together, the bees and how he wanted to, what his goal was, he wanted to keep his congregation to believe in him, so he could continue to haunt, basically. So big fan.
Last, certainly not least, we got Hannibal Lecter.
So he made the list. I don't know if I would consider Silence of the Lambs a horror film, but when we
did
talk,
win the Oscars for best horror film.
Yeah, I know, but when we talk like horror, like it's not the typical film you think of, but he did such a good job being this like creepy yet polite or cordial person, and then still like being the what's the word I'm looking for? He exacted revenge in such a terrifying way.
Maniacal.
Yeah, that's it. That I thought he deserved to be on the list for sure.
And keep in mind, Shiro, he's only in the movie for like 20 minutes, if that,
Really?
Yeah, no, he's very
I
much.
didn't realize that he's only like in the movie for like 20 minutes.
That's how terrifying he is. Then.
Yeah, I honestly didn't realize that because
let me Google it. It might be less. It's an astoundingly low number, but
it's like the Heath Ledger Joker. Ring. Yeah, the Heath Ledger Joker's barely in the movie, but he still won the Oscar.
Like the shark in Jaws.
Acting. Yeah.
Okay.
Jaws is another horror movie that won an Oscar. I know this because I had to do trivia this morning. So.
Who
won?
Who is fifth place for you?
Oh, we want to just name the movie and then we all give the number, so we'll go a little faster.
That's probably better. Yeah. So basically bring it up and then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, I like that.
Say that one more time.
So you could start with Hannibal.
Oh my God, guys, 8 minutes.
Okay.
8
what?
minutes.
No way! I remember him in the whole movie.
How many points?
He was only on 8 minutes of that movie.
That is
really?
Yeah.
I was thoroughly freaked out by him.
So let's do what you said, Nani. Sue.
So we'll start with Hannibal.
Yes.
What number? Okay. First, though, can we list them again? We have Hannibal.
We got Hannibal. We got Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Pennywise.
Yeah.
Candyman.
Yeah.
And I think it's the 5, right?
And no, you have Jack.
The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining.
Okay, so if we're starting off with Hannibal Lecter,
what number is he for everyone? Okay. Hannibal for me is going to be right in. Oh, he's going to be number 4 for me.
So 4th place.
Yeah.
Sam, what point? What are you giving him?
Hannibal is going to be my number 1.
Oh,
okay. Wow.
Damn. Okay. I didn't see that coming.
Did not. Nadi, how what you got?
He's going to be number 5 for me.
Wow.
Okay, it's 1 point.
Sammy and I are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at number 4 simply because Hannibal's the only one on the list that can be like an anti-hero and still make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these other characters are like they're just bad,
That's why he's at the bottom of the list.
Hannibal can do, yeah, but he's got a great performance though, and he won an Oscar,
Yeah.
so I'll knock him up to 4th place just for that.
I
Hannibal,
recently watched it again, rewatch it because my husband had never seen it.
Oh man,
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Now you can root, and I
Like
hate
you, Larry. It's like you.
After asking more questions, I will give Hannibal's 5th place for me on that one. All right. So next up, we've got Candyman.
Ooh, he's at the top for me.
I bet he is. I bet he is.
Ooh, Lord. I'm gonna give him number 2.
Okay. All right, Sammy, what do you have him at for you?
Sorry, Shiro. He's my 5.
Oh man!
Damn.
Okay. Nadia, what you got him at?
He killed babies.
He's my number 2 as well.
Number,
Yeah.
as in 4 points, got it. 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. Stupenzo, where you got him?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at 3rd place because even though he's not the scariest, the way that he gets you to he basically takes you over and gets you to murder somebody. So he basically frames you for his crimes, which is pretty baller.
He started a whole
don't get me
trend of
wrong. He's awesome. It's an honor to be nominated.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I think Candyman was the only one that actually freaked me out as a kid, where we turn off the lights and say Candyman.
Right.
No.
Started a whole trend of kids about that.
Yeah.
It's either
and
in Chicago, it's either you say Candyman or you say Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was a Bloody Mary.
I'm gonna give Candyman 2nd place for me, just because simply I knew I couldn't watch horror movies, but I knew what not to say, and Candyman was one of them. Didn't know why. We just don't say it. And now that I was like, y'all had a black serial killer out here in the projects, like no, and the white people were looking for it. Nah,
the sequel wasn't that bad,
Like
or the
Cropsy.
reboot, or the remake. I don't know what you consider
They
it.
did do a remake. Yeah, I did one.
It wasn't too
I
bad.
didn't
It
bother.
wasn't too bad.
I didn't bother.
She said it wasn't too bad.
wasn't too bad. All right, I'll check it out. I mean, I could see where there's elements where you'd want to try to remake it on there, but I guess
And they make him like a
definitely-
Black Panther or something.
It's definitely more violent than the original.
Okay.
But I find the presence of Candyman is not as intimidating as the original. So it's like
a lack
you
of
put
a
it on in the
cartel,
background
isn't it?
while you're doing something and just have it going. Yeah, you stream it. If it's free, don't buy it.
I'm sorry. Violence does not a good horror movie make. Like
it depends on who you talk to.
Okay. If you're talking Art the Clown, then yes. But if you're talking like, oh, this version is much more violent, I always prefer my horror to be a little bit more cerebral.
Well, that's why you're very vanilla, my friend.
Okay, let me do this. Hold on 1 second.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, so after that, all right, next time we've got Pennywise.
Sammy.
For me, honestly, I'm gonna put him at number 5.
5th place?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I mean, the premise of the movie was great, but you just put a dude in a clown suit. I don't know. I'm okay.
It's not a dude. It's a alien being, I guess.
Yeah, it's a Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me. So he's 5th on my list.
All right, Sammy, who you got for what do you got for Pennywise?
3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. And Nadia, what do you give Mr. Pennywise?
He's number 1 in my heart.
Oh wow!
No. There we go.
Oh wow! Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm a big king head, so.
Now you said he was an alien being?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's an
Read the
alien
book,
female spider
Jiro,
being.
if you want,
Yeah.
I will. If you want to do like a book club, I will reread it while you're reading it for the first time. If you want to do,
I will do that with you. I
and
like
on
it.
that, I love Stephen King stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start a group. Anybody else? Enzo?
Actually,
do you read Enzo?
In that book, it has one
readings
of
for
my favorite
nerds
books ever when the turtle is talking to Bill Dembro and he goes, "Don't fuck with the infinite, son."
We'll go. We'll go couple chapters by couple. Yeah, we'll talk. I'll get it together. Okay.
I'd like to go. Yeah, we're doing Tim Curry, OG.
book report.
And so, Stupenzo, what do you got for Pennywise?
I'm gonna have to put him at 5 just because I'm not scared of clowns, and especially this one. He's a stupid alien, and also the movies aren't good, and the book is basically a cocaine fever dream written by Stephen King, who I'm not really a big fan of anymore. But yeah, I mean, he's still creepy. I see why he's creepy. He just never personally creeped me out. He just kind of more annoyed me, and the fact that he gets defeated by a bunch of children is whack.
Yeah, when you get beat by like the power of friendship.
Yeah, the Monster Squad. When the Monster Squad takes you down, it's not cool.
The Monster Squad would have been a better.
Oh, dude, that would be a good crossover. A Monster Squad has to deal with Pennywise.
That was actually just one of my picks for a movie the other day, and they were like, "How would you describe it?" It was like the Goonies fight the Universal Monster.
Monster Squad rules, man. I remember that movie took so long to come out on DVD.
I love that movie. Fucking love that movie.
You vote, honey?
I wore the VHS out on that movie.
Dude, the part where Frankenstein. Oh, sorry.
What?
I would say that.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. The part of Frankenstein finds that mask of himself and gets all scary. He's all crying, Oh, it's so sad.
I was like a latchkey kid, and I got punched in the face over that movie. Because we were watching it, which it kind of seems insane now, but it was just like whatever. So we were watching it in latchkey, and I was like, well, Frankenstein had to go, or the portal wouldn't have closed. And this kid was like, no, and he like hit me like square in the face, and I was
wonder
like,
what that kid's up to now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
Oh man,
it was that Topher and Gratiot.
Next up, we've got Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
I'm gonna put number 3 here.
Okay.
Number 3 for me. Yeah.
All right. Sammy, what you got for Pazuzu?
Ooh, by default, I have to put him at 4. Because I know who I want as my number 2, but I like that he's the sight unseen, ultimate evil. Whether you want to watch the director's cut where they keep doing like the Tyler Durden thing where they like clip him in for like no, I love The Exorcist. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite films. And I think it's also one of the best from page to screen adaptations. I would like to put Pazuzu higher, but I can't.
He's worth 4 points, or he's in 4th place?
4th place.
4 points. There we go. Got it.
Giving me places.
Okay, I'm trying. So Nadia, what do you have?
I'm not making it easy on you.
All good, man.
I have him in 4th place because just like Hannibal, I could take him on and win.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't get me, devil.
Stupenzo, what do you got for
Christ compelled you?
Pazuzu's number 1 for me because he's actually terrifying. The movie's scary as hell. You need the power of God to defeat him. So if you're wearing the armor of God, then you'd be safe. If you're not a believer, you might be in trouble. Also, his actual design, like obviously the fact that he takes over a little girl and makes her do horrific stuff, like you can, the worst stuff imaginable. It's pretty bad. But have you ever seen the design of the statue? Like he's a weird, dragon-headed dude with his hand up, and he's got this awesome serpent crawling up his leg and standing up erect like a big phallus. It's just badass.
It's just awesome. I just got complete chilled.
I love the dude.
Yeah,
that movie
it's so demonic.
Me.
Yeah, that statue. When you really look at it, you're like, dude, that is metal.
That's like
that movie.
Yeah,
blew my mind.
Yeah, the pea soup. I mean, yeah, dude. What do you want? It's number 1 for me.
No, I remember because I wasn't really allowed to watch horror movies as a kid. But it was always something like if the parents were out with a babysitter, I had like HBO and everything. And I thought I was big and tough. And my buddy's older brother was like, we're watching this movie. And I remember when Father Marin sees the statue of Pazuzu, I was like, oh, so this old guy goes crazy and he's going to start like cutting people up. Right. And the guy's like, just watch the movie. And then I was just like inconsolable for like 3 days. And my mom found out that I watched it. She wanted to ground me. And my dad's like, you watched it, didn't you? I was like, yeah. He goes, scared the shit out of you, didn't it? I was like, yeah. He goes, that should be punishment enough.
when he starts tormenting Father Karras with the voice of his dead mother, you know, it's just so scary.
My dad made me watch that movie
Hell
by myself at a young age because he found out I was interested more into horror. I was watching something and he's like, "Oh, you like horror? Let me rent this movie for you." And had me watch it by myself in my room.
That's like when you catch a kid smoking and you make him smoke a whole pack, you know?
Yeah.
Smoking on that horror.
Way too young. Like, I don't even think I was in junior high yet.
You don't even understand why it's so scary at a young age. You know, when you watch it as an adult, it's way scarier. You're like, dude, what?
Oh, I'd argue that I was pretty scared.
Yeah.
For me, for Pazuzu, I probably
tried
have
to walk down my stairs backwards, spider.
Oh, and that scene isn't even in the original cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Sorry, E.G.O. Go.
You said third place, E.G.O?
All good. All right. So next up, we've got
Wait, where did you place him, E.G.O?
I had him at third. Did we go through?
Well, no, you have one more, The Shining.
Yeah, the Jack, old Jack boy.
Okay, there it is. Oh, it double picks it when you do that. Okay, now I found something
that's what I was trying to tell you.
Let's see. So, for Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Well, he's my number one. So, Mr. Jack got me. He did a great job. He's a great villain going after his family, scaring the bejesus out of them. So, I like it.
All right. Sammy, what do you got for The Shining?
From the only director who can deviate from the source material drastically and make a better film, Stanley Kubrick.
Why everybody shit on this book so bad?
No,
it's not the worst book
the
he's
movie's
ever
better.
Written. Have you
just
all written Tommy Knockers? Like, I've all read them.
I love. No, I'm just saying. Like, it's same thing with Clockwork Orange. It's this, it's the same thing.
Yes, better. Yeah,
the man's just on his own level. I always say that Jack Nicholson in this movie is my spirit animal. But I'm gonna put him at number 2 because he's the GOAT. I actually just saw this again in theaters, and it was a wonderful experience. Just seeing it and just a tour de force performance. But for some reason, I still think Hannibal is still my number one. It was tough because I love Jack Torrance in book form and I love him in film form, and I know they're not the same, but this is just a great movie, and I take something away from it every single time I watch it.
Okay. Nice. All right. Nadia, what do you got for Jack Torrance of The Shining?
He's in number 3 for me. Okay. I love this movie. This is my second favorite movie of all time. But Candyman hits it differently, and so does Pennywise. So he's got to be at number 3. So.
All right. And Stupenzo, what do you got for The Shining?
My second place is what's open, right? I think that's what it should be, right?
Right.
So yeah, second place, Jack Torrance, man. I mean, killing your whole family with an axe, pretty hardcore. Also, Jack, Nicholson's performance is pretty legendary, and also, yeah, he's way worse in the movie because it's kind of hinted that he's already abusive before the movie starts. And if you watched me on Cannoli Sasquatch's Shining breakdown from last year, I was breaking down why he may have actually lestered his son, which makes him real bad. I love it. That's what the whole teddy bear scene is about. It represents Shelley Duvall's powerlessness to stop it herself when she was watching her son do that kind of stuff, or when she knew her son was doing that stuff. That's why whenever time you see Jack, that's why every time you see Danny Torrance, there's teddy bears nearby. He's got a teddy bear.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid theory, but I still hate it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. But Jack Nicholson, legendary performance, and making the idea that your murderer is going to be the man who raised you, is just a whole nother level of horror.
It just bleeds into my psyche. I can't tell you how many times I've turned to my wife and went, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
His son looks so much like him because his son is in Smile too.
A little bit,
looks so much like him. It's creepy.
Oh man. All right, so for me, I gave him he's fourth place for me. I think it's probably because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Graphical, yeah. There are a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Like I just saw Candyman for the first time yesterday. I never
I
saw
would
the
recommend
Party.
reading the book first so you can
I
then
agree.
see the differences of why people prefer the movie.
So when it comes
I
to
don't prefer the movie. I actually prefer the book, but this is
I
a
prefer
really
the
tough
movie
one.
over the book.
This is
The book
a
is
tough one for
different.
me. Yeah,
I
the
have-
book is different, so it's too hard to like bash them together. You know, like
And
normally
Dr. Sleep does a good job of combining
I
the two
love
worlds.
Yeah, it's a sequel to both. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I should inform you guys, I'm a graduate of the Gaston Literary Academy. I'm going to read to you guys what our motto is.
Can you read this? There's no pictures.
Yeah. Also,
I have
awesome soundtrack on the book. The movie's so scary because of the music. If you say, like Dempsey, if you didn't think The Shining was scary, you need to watch it louder. You know, like
I agree.
Yeah, that's what really
There's
makes
actually
it
an
scary.
excellent video. I'll put it in the private chat where it's like about the sounds and stuff into it, and it's fantastic. I make everyone
Well, just
who
watch
hasn't watched it.
what's the documentary that came out recently? Room 237.
Oh, Room 237.
That's a great documentary on it. I think
It
it's
is a great one.
So good.
Mine is
that on Netflix.
Substantially less long.
Maybe I think so.
I heard about that. Is that what that's about?
Yeah, it's a complete documentary breakdown of like it's a weird documentary, man. It breaks down like why certain paintings are in certain rooms, color aspects of it. It's just like theorizing about stuff. It's really good.
Okay, I'll check it out. All right, so I think at this point we're up to we've gone through all 5 of them?
Yeah, we did all 5.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take it to the vote. I think from the vote we saw on there that I believe Pennywise got the 2 points from the viewers here. So we're gonna say that the Scully goes with a total of that's like an offering of 24 points.
I don't know. I'm not Vanna White.
You can see there.
There.
With a total of 24 points, it's Jack Torrance The Shining.
Wow.
You're ridiculous, man.
What else am I supposed to do with it?
You should
have put it on a stick so I could at least.
Oh man, I clicked on your video, Sammy. Now I'm gonna get a bunch of like Stephen King The Shining videos in my algorithm.
Sorry.
No, you'll enjoy it though. It's good.
Oh man, let me see what we got up here.
It's actually one of those things that I always run across where I was like, oh, I want to make a video about this stuff. There's like, oh, someone did it way better than me. Never mind.
Captain Christian, dude. Captain Christian rules, man.
Do the other one first.
Which one? Okay, hold on.
I agree, Enzo.
All of Captain Christian. He's only got a few of them. You can watch them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check them out.
I like the book. The book,
and then
the book is more deals with the alcoholism.
I like
everything.
And there's that one scene where he's in front of 217. It's not 237. Where he looks and he's staring at the doorknob, and he goes, "If this doorknob moves, I'll go mad." And I was like, it's totally relatable. Like my entire worldview would shatter, and I'd be rocking back and forth if like someone told me there's a ghost in this room, and all of a sudden like it proves itself. Like I would be inconsolable.
Mickey Mousing.
All right, so guys, this was best possession from Stupenzo. Gonna start at the beginning here.
All right. I love that's a picture from Scary Movie 2. But yeah, Reagan McNeil from The Exorcist is best possession, one of my nominees, obviously for various reasons. One of the first blockbusters, even though it wasn't a summer blockbuster, before Jaws, there was The Exorcist that came out around Christmas. People were freaking out, throwing up in the theater, running out, freaking, it was like the first time a movie had gotten that kind of reaction from people. It's great. It's scary. You got Pazuzu, you got a little girl, classic possession trope. But I think one of the reasons why The Exorcist is so solid is because the movie's so hyper realistic. Everything about it is presented in a realistic manner, except for the fact that, there's a little girl who's possessed by the devil. It's the only, outlandish element of the whole movie.
All right. Next up, we have got Mia from the Evil Dead.
Yeah. Now, I know not everyone liked the remake, but
I did.
It was creepy. And I forgive the bad contacts, which they did improve greatly on with the computer animated eyes in Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
But I mean, the idea we're going to remake Evil Dead and go 100% scary with it was a great idea. Really toned down the camp. And also what made this so effective, even if it wasn't an Evil Dead movie, it's just a great premise. The idea you got a girl who's trying to get off the heroin, going through withdrawals. So any kind of, demonic stuff you're seeing, you would write off as like, oh, she's just, this is what happens when you're, going through that kind of stuff maybe. And that's what just really, really made it creepier and better and really put the whole genre kind of on its head. So I liked it. And also the most amount of blood in a movie for a while there with the big raining end scene.
No, it still holds the title. It's 70,000 gallons of blood.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yo.
Raining blood by Slayer.
Yeah, this is great makeup on there too. All right, we got here. All right, next up we've got.
All right, number the other
expert.
Yeah, the other one I'd have to say is Hereditary. Annie Graham, Lord Toxic's favorite actress. Toni Collette does a really stellar performance. What makes Hereditary so freaky is the fact that you're being tricked into summoning this demon. They think they're going to be doing a seance with their dead daughter, who was actually meticulously lined up to kill by this cult, and they actually tricked them into, summoning this demon Paimon, who was all a big what's the word I'm looking for? Rube Goldberg machine kind of set up for by the grandma. The grandma had all set this up, and Hereditary when you've got the mother in the corner of the room, you can't even see her because it's all dark, and then she's crawling on the walls, and dad lighting on fire, and her what else, sawing her own head off and stuff. I mean, it was hardcore. It was hardcore, and it's one of the scariest movies of the 21st century for sure.
I agree.
Right. After that, we've got Kat from the Blackcoat's Daughter.
Now, I'm probably guessing not everyone's seen this movie. This is a movie from Osgood Perkins, who did Long Legs and kind of skyrocketed. But yeah, before that, he had made this little crazy movie. And it's another one like The Shining, where it's totally the terror's really sold with the soundtrack. But this one's great because of how understated it all is. Basically, this girl's a private school girl who basically slowly goes on a stabbing, killing spree because a demon that looks like my neighbor Totoro basically tells her to. It's just a creepy ass movie. So I know I should have probably put like Possession on the list, or maybe even Exorcist 3 or a few other good ones. But I don't know. This is me just being biased and putting it on the list, just getting nominated, even if it only makes 5th place. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what makes this so great. You guys are choosing a top 5 and we'll weigh them through. It's awesome.
This is all objective or subjective. I mean, this is all subjective for me. And the first one would be big one this year. Everyone's raving about it. Lily from the Late Night with the Devil. I mean, this was basically just a fun rehashing of the classic Exorcist tropes, but it was done on a nice, fresh spin, and it was a little more accessible than, say, The Exorcist. I think you could show this movie to a lot wider audience. I think the kids would get a kick out of it, whereas The Exorcist and Hereditary might be a little bit much for the youngins. Might also just go over people's heads, whereas this one, nice and digestible, the good fast food version of The Exorcist, I'd say. It was very, very fun, and also just a good movie from this year. So, and it was recent, you love it.
Okay. All right. So, guys, now that we got all 5 through, we'll start with, let's start with Lily, Late Night with the Devil. Honey, what are you giving Lily?
Oh, we'll start with Stupenzo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad. I'm tripping. Stupenzo. Good. I need to switch these around when I'm having the person that's doing their category next time. Stupenzo, start off. Lily, what does she get for Late Night with the Devil? How many points?
I'm going to have to put it place-wise. I'm just going to put it at the bottom of the list just because, it gets fun. It's fun, but it ain't that scary, or it didn't scare me. I'm not easily rattled. So, but yeah, it was a fun movie. and great acting and great premise. I liked it. But
right. We're going reverse up. So Nadia, what do you give Lily for Late Night with the Devil?
I probably would put her in second place for me.
All right,
I really enjoyed this movie. I know the lead. I worked with him on a previous film.
Wow.
So I think this, I know the third act of this movie really split a lot of people, but I really think from start to finish, this is probably one of the tops for 2024 easily.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
said
agree.
this is already we said was probably the best horror movie of the year that we've seen.
Yeah,
Right, so,
all around it was a good
it was
movie.
really good. All right,
Yep.
Sam, what you got for Lily for Late Night with the Devil?
I'm gonna have to, as much as, like I said, this is one of the few films that I actually bought. As soon as it came out, I'm gonna have to give this a 5, simply because it's more of it's not about her possession. It's kind of like shoehorned in. It's just like a factor. She does an adequate job, but like the movie's really not about her possession, and it's just kind of a vehicle to continue the plot. It's not she does great, nothing against it, but yeah, it's not possession centric, I would say.
Gotcha. All right, my love. What do you have for Late Night with the
What
Devil?
was your question?
That was worth 1 point, right?
Well, place 5. He gave it
Got
5.
it. There we go. All right.
5th place. So whatever point system you have going on here.
Not mathematically.
I don't know why you didn't just say
dyslexic.
1 to 1.
I don't know. I don't know either.
I'm just asking. Okay. Anyway.
Every day.
Lily, Late Night with the Devil for me is going to be number 5. I love the movie. Absolutely love the movie. But as far as possessions go, I'm with Sammy here. It was kind of just like, it was like, and I think Dempsey said it too, it was a fast food version of a possession.
Okay.
Like, they got it quickly. You have the ending. I mean, the movie overall was great, and the possession didn't take away from that. But
Yeah, no, it's kind of like
the ones that are on the list, it don't get to the top here.
I'm gonna give it. I think for me, it's probably gonna be 3rd place for me, just because of them setting up the story. You don't know what exactly is gonna happen, and with kids trying to do possession, I think there's a weird thing where like below 13 or 14, you're like, okay, it'd be really scary, and then between 15 and 17, you're like,
You're like, they're already possessed anyways.
Right. I've seen y'all people that coach sports. I've seen when you're dealing with teenage girls, that's just everyone. You just gotta just do this before the game starts. But yeah, I think the fact that she actually pulled it off, she was an intimidating demon that kind of slowly pulled you in. Again, it's not the top for me, so I'll have it just in the middle. But for that to come out maybe in February and for it to be a nominee speaks to how good it was. All right, so next we've got up is, all right, Cat from the Black Coat's Daughter. Stupenzo, what you got for place on that one?
Yeah, I just put her at 4th place. I know it's a more reserved, kind of slow burn type horror movie, but it's my list. I'll put her on wherever I want. Damn it, scary ass movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it. Scary, reserved indie movie. So guide your expectations a bit. But yeah, Kat was a creepy little schoolgirl, and she wasn't bedridden like some of the other people on the list. She was out and about stabbing people, for years.
That's true. All right. So we've got that was
4th place.
4th place. Got it. All right. Sorry, Nadia, what do you give Cat for the Black Coat's Daughter?
I'm gonna put her in 4th place as well. I liked this movie. I actually like a lot of Oz Perkins's work. A lot of people just really know him for Long Legs, but I think he's from 3 movies prior to Long Legs. I can't remember. With this one being one of the top ones, so yeah, I'll put her in 4th. But
okay, Sammy, what do you give Cat from the Black Coat's Daughter?
Haven't seen it, but I mean, it's definitely on theme, so I'll just put it in 4.
Okay. All right. All right, honey. What do you give Cat from the Black Coat's Daughter?
4th place for sure. It was creepy. But again, the list is strong, so 4th place.
You know what? I'm gonna have to stick on code with y'all and give it 4th as well. I mean, it was kind of scary, but it was. Hey, I don't know. I guess I like overt possessions, not necessarily the subtle ones for me.
Yeah.
Like, is that a shadow? Oh, I woke up from a nightmare. Now I'm possessed. Like, where was the, where was the sign that we knew you were possessed at some time, or just not going around stabbing people? So I'll give it 4th on there. All right. So next we've got up is going to be Annie Graham from Hereditary. So Stupenzo, start us off. What do you got for?
I had to put it at 2nd place.
Oh wow. Okay.
Just because it's her her oversight, her desperation kind of blinds her to the evil she willingly accepts into her soul. She gets tricked into getting possessed, and yeah, she just does such a damn good performance, losing her mind. And even though the possession part of the movie is only holds up for the final act of the movie, it's just so balls to the wall once that happens. It's just crazy. And it just kind of shows like what happens. Yeah. When the full force, when you don't have the exorcism victim tied to a bed, and they're free to like run around the walls and levitate and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Just really freaky and kind of tragic too. I mean, that's kind of the best part about Hereditary is how unfortunate it all is.
Okay. All right, Nadia, what do you give for Hereditary?
5, because I fucking hate this movie.
Oh.
Go.
No love.
Show us how you really feel.
I just don't like this movie. I don't like the premise. I don't like the payoff. I don't like the pacing of it. I just don't like it. I think Midsummer is better of his films, but yeah, I don't.
How many times have you seen it, Nadia?
I've seen it now twice.
Okay.
I just can't.
I didn't really like it the first time I watched it either. And then I watched it a second time and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then the third time I'm like, this is really scary. Okay.
All right. Sammy, where do you stand on Hereditary?
This is a tough one. And, again, banking off what Nadia said, it's an honor just to be nominated. But yeah, I'm going to have to put this one at 3. And I really do like this movie, but I just think the other 2 contenders are just they do a better job. I can't even say they do a better job. It's more on point with the theme, and but yeah, no, this actress just does a stellar job, and I wish I could rate it higher, but I when you're going against The Exorcist and Evil Dead, like, what are you gonna do?
Very true. Honey, what do you have for
I'm torn on this one, but I think just like Sammy just said, how do you compete with Evil Dead and Exorcist? So it's gonna be 3 on my list. Okay. I like the fact that she had the desperation, let things happen. So okay. If Exorcist and Evil Dead weren't there, it'd probably be number 1 on my list.
Really? Was it that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I think it's a great movie. Just for the theme.
I'm trying to fit because Hereditary for me is a 5. I don't.
Okay.
I think it was because everyone was so. A lot of people were split on it.
Preach! It is a shitty movie.
I would argue that the mom from The Conjuring does a scarier job.
Yeah, it's just everyone was trying to go in all these different theories about the movie, and it's like, oh, maybe things could be hereditary, this and that, and I'm like, I guess were there scary elements? Yes, but I mean, I don't even really remember the movie, and I saw it within the last like 6 or 7 months.
Mm. And I'm like, I agree with Nadia though. I think Midsummer is a better film.
I think that everyone hyped it up to be this thing and wanted to go in so many different directions, and I'm like, but no one asked if it was good to me, and I'm watching like, I'm not sure this belongs in this title of all these discussions y'all are having. But again, also you're going up against
but it's
Evil
about
Dead.
possession, right?
It is. It's just, I mean, was it a good possession is what I'm saying. And I'm like, I can't even remember elements of the possession. and I've seen it within the last 6 months.
Okay.
You know, of all the movies that I've seen with you, it's like I'm like, and it doesn't really register for me. That's why I got it at 5. So next up we've got after that is Evil Dead. It's gonna be interesting. Stupenzo, kick it off, bro. What do you have for the Evil Dead?
Let me go ahead and preface this with I almost put Jonah Hill from This Is the End.
That was an honorable mention.
That was a good one, but yeah, it's too funny. But this one's great. I put it at number 3. Yeah, again, it's like I think the general consensus is this one and Hereditary kind of going towards the middle. But this one's just like so fun. It wasn't really. It was just nice and just a good old fashioned kind of scary movie. Exorcism, and also all the stuff she says when she's trapped in that cellar trying to get him to open the door, and the fact that she kind of gets made better at the end and then gets to kill her little demonic doppelganger while it's raining blood. Like, that was so fun. So yeah, I would just put it right in the middle of the list. Just good old fashioned Hollywood, old Hollywood monster flick. All
right. Nadia, what do you give Mia for the Evil Dead?
She's going in number 3. I like the makeup design. I like this movie. I think it's a great remake of Evil Dead. I love the original too, and I do love Army of Darkness, but I think this is a good fit for it. I like the concept of taking it to be more scary. I'll never get the close-up of eyes with glass out of my head. Yeah. So yeah, 100% this is number 3 for me.
Okay. All right. Sammy, what do you give Mia from the Evil Dead?
2. I really enjoyed the Evil Dead. The original trilogy is like a huge had a huge impact on my life. I was distraught when I knew that they were going to make a remake, and I was pleasantly surprised. This is I thought this was a great remake. I enjoyed it, and I'll put this at 2. That scene where she like splits her tongue is it still makes me feel uncomfortable just thinking about it. Someone understood the assignment on this one. So
Shiro, what do you give the Evil Dead?
It's gonna be my number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked it.
Simple, to the point. I
did. I mean, I just the story of the character and the possession of it. I kind of like some of the fun elements that are there. Yeah. So it's number 1 for me.
Okay. For me, it's gonna be my number 2. I mean, because it's a possession, but it's also it's almost hopeless possession too. Like, once you read the words from that book, it's a wrap. It's like you gotta say the words, our body's gotta go, and it's fun and gory too, but it's also like a hopeless possession. So that's what I'm saying. It's for me. It's gonna be my my number 2 on here. All right, and leading in, I see where this is gonna go on here. We've got the Exorcist.
Scary movie 2.
Swear,
you can look at this and see
the
that.
picture.
Okay.
Really?
You got to put your eye close to the screen. I'm sorry.
James
it
Woods
makes it better. It makes it better.
Yeah. James Woods is so funny in that scene, by the way, man.
He is great.
It's not where I wanted this to go. Possession. So what do you got for Scary Movie 2, The Exorcist?
Yeah, number 1, man. I mean, it's the one. It's started the whole genre. I mean, every movie, think about all the knockoff, like straight to video, straight to streaming exorcism movies that are just just clones of this but worse. Also the fact that Linda Blair is such a young actress, like saying these horrific lines and doing all this horrific stuff is just so it's why people get into show business, folks. Seriously.
So a quick question here. No, wrong. Yeah, so you got 2 things. People wondering if you're cosplaying the little kid from Boy in the Trees, and Sammy, are you pre-shocking Kurt Cobain? Who wants to know?
I am trying to lose weight. Thanks, Fax.
Yeah.
Hi, Bexy.
I'm Elliot Penis Breath.
Oh my God. All right. We go on. Nadia, what do you give Exorcist?
Yeah, no, I was gonna blow my brains out, but then Enzo joined the stream and they replaced all the guns with walkie-talkies. So
All right, Nadia, what do you got for The Exorcist?
Well, I've never seen any of the scary movies, so I'm hope we're talking about the actual Exorcist here.
Yes, we
the actual
are.
Exorcist. I just got the wrong photo. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know either. By looking at the makeup,
Fair,
but
fair.
it's number one for me. I mean,
right.
classic. Yeah, it's a
All
terrifying movie.
Yeah.
Make your young children watch it like I had to.
yes.
Man, listen, I can't believe I didn't know y'all watched these this early. How old were you when you saw this?
Oh, I saw Silence of the Lambs when I was like 12.
Y'all are ridiculous, man. Y'all out here being crazy.
I'm pretty, yeah. I saw Candyman in middle school.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sammy, what do you got for Exorcist, man?
Number one, I saw this in 5th grade, and as a Catholic schoolboy, I was shooketh.
Okay, and
no, Emily Rose is not on this list, Gord.
I like that movie though too.
That's a good movie.
So yeah, Exorcist for me is gonna be number one. I never heard the line about your mom in hell until that movie, and everyone had been saying, I was like, I never got the reference, and I saw, I was like, yo, that's I don't know, you gotta fight the demon on that. That's you gotta put
on site.
It's on site. You gotta put holy water in your fist and you start swinging. It has to happen. But yeah,
your mother cooks socks in hell.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm pretty sure everyone who screamed that at me wasn't quoting The Exorcist, but
Jesus Christ. I will say the only other demon line that I've heard that was half as bad was from The Deliverance. I don't know if y'all have seen that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that one. I can smell your nappy pussy from all the way over here. I was like, yo, that's again.
Should I watch this?
Huh?
It was funny.
Should I watch The Deliverance?
It was better than I thought it was going to be, Nadia. I mean, it's not.
I'm watching American Psycho for the first time tonight after I get off. So
I love the movie.
Can't wait to see the remake.
So I will say this.
Shut up.
I know that there's general how like Christian homeschool kids were, and there's black Christian homeschool kids, and it's like black people that weren't allowed to watch horror movies that are old enough to watch them now. That's what The Deliverance is for. It's their movie because certain things don't necessarily line up in the movie, and you got to kind of watch to get a sense of it. Because that's kind of at least what I came to. I was like, okay, for people that weren't allowed to watch horror movies but wanted a good, Christian version of it, of sorts, it was kind of that movie. It didn't do it up for me. I was like, I was out on it. Sue, rounding everything out.
Oh, it's 2 for me.
Oh, it's 2. Oh, yeah, it's 2.
Because that's the only one I have left. It was a great possession.
Okay.
Yeah, but I put Evil Dead first, so it's got to be 2.
Okay.
I got nothing left.
All right, and I want to double check what we got on here. So I got Dempsey's giving his chat for The Exorcist, and Gore saying it's overrated. I'm trying to figure if anyone else had voted for it on here.
Well, I think it clearly wins, honey.
I was just getting to the drum roll.
Oh, sorry. Do the drum roll. Okay.
The Exorcist.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm throwing holy water on you after this is over.
The sow is mine.
All right. So get this position. And that will lead us into. Oh yeah.
Or did you really say Hereditary over The Exorcist in the chat? My God, man.
I mean,
and I have bad takes.
Yeah.
You really went there with it.
Not that bad of a take, honestly. I disagree, but Hereditary's up there, man. I think
Hereditary's great, but
what's great about Hereditary is I feel like just like the family, when you watch the movie, you're actually being tricked into also summoning a demon. Like the movie is like some kind of conjuring, and you don't realize it. You're just like eating popcorn, like this is scary. You don't realize like you've let a demon into your house by watching that cursed movie.
Yeah,
I gotcha. And so bringing up the next one we've got is Movie of the Year. So for this one, again, we chose a specific year on here and took a top 5 of the movies that came out for that year. You know, again, after this, when we do this next year, we'll choose movies that came out between the October 18th of this year and into 2025. So the year that was chosen by my man Sammy3peat was 2002. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys the nominees that we've got here. As soon as I do this and move everything over. All right, first up we've got is 28 Days Later. Sammy, take it away, good sir.
28 Days Later. Like I said, 2002 I think was a banger year for horror. But this is one of I'm not a huge fan of the zombie genre, but I thought this one was definitely an interesting take on it. And you know, just the rage fueled fast zombies, you know, excellent. You know, there's definitely some shots in the film that date it. It's a product of its time, but I still think it's a solid watch.
Okay. All right. And it's going to bring us to the next one we've got up in here. The Ring. Go on, sir.
Well, I don't think anyone should be afraid of this movie anymore because who has a VHS player? But yeah, no, it was again interesting concept. Totally banger film. I mean, I don't think anyone who was in school at that era didn't have someone like come up behind you and go 7. You know, it's an interesting film. I definitely prefer the Japanese version, and yeah, a banger movie.
Right. Next we've got up is Dog Soldiers. Tell us about
the banger year. Okay, this might be my favorite werewolf movie. It's super fun. You know, because there's a lot of stinkers in the werewolf genre. I think there's like 4 or 5 standouts, and I think this is definitely a standout. Like if you like military films and you like werewolf movies, by God, do I got a movie for you. I would definitely check this one out.
All right. And after that, we've got The Grudge or Ju-On.
Also, you know, kind of in the same veil as The Ring, but that's when people actually, it felt like people were starting to actually take Japanese horror films a little bit more serious. And I think, you know, the cinematic zeitgeist is better for it. And this was also another creepy ass film that dropped.
Okay. All right. And bring it up here. We've next got rounding it out. This seemed like I was like, this is such a Sammy3peat choice. Bubba Hotep. What is this even about, dude?
Bubba Hotep rules.
Bubba Hotep is one of my favorite movies of all time. How do we even describe this? So an Elvis impersonator who believes himself to be Elvis, or who might actually be Elvis, it's up for you to decide, finds himself in an old folks home in somewhere in Texas. Him with John F. Kennedy, who has had his brain relocated into the body of a black man, you know, so this, you know, by the CIA, so no one will believe him. So if you want to go by their logic, so it's Elvis and JFK. They need to fight a mummy who is preying on the people in this old folks home, and shenanigans ensue. It is fantastic, and Bruce Campbell is a tour de force in this movie. I suggest anybody who likes horror, even slightly, you should watch this movie. If you just like movies in general, you should watch this movie.
Oh my God. Okay. That color. All right, starting off with Bubba Hotep, guys.
I hate him that color.
What place do you give Bubba Hotep, dude?
I'm going with 1. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's number 1. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. What do you give Bubba Hotep?
It's going number 3 for me.
Okay.
Boo.
Okay. Stupenzo, what do you got for Bubba Hotep?
Yeah, I'd also have to put it at 3 because even though it's not even really a
Ooh.
horror movie, it's a comedy. It still beats 2 of the other contenders on this list because it's that fun.
Honey, what do you got?
Yeah, it's horror adjacent.
Yeah.
I
You like
could've-
Dale and Tucker meets Evil. It's like in that kind of vein.
Yeah, I
Right.
could have. There was another movie that was more legitimate, but I was like, no, screw it. I'm putting it Bubba Hotel.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Listen,
It's got a
horror
mummy in it.
is-
It's horror.
Horror is a big umbrella with tons of subgenres underneath it, so
That is fair.
we're all good.
What you got for Bubba
I
Hotel?
have never seen this movie, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it sounds better than a zombie movie, so I'll put it at number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I will have it as 4th. I mean, it would have been 5th, but it's Bruce Campbell, and even if it's a B movie, he gives absolute commitment. So even when I watched the Evil Dead TV series, he really does go all in on the characters that he portrays. So I will give him a 4th place for that one. All right, working backwards, The Grudge. Sammy, what are you giving The Grudge?
I'm gonna give it 5. It's my least favorite of all these movies.
Okay. All right. And Nadia, what are you giving The Grudge?
I'm giving it a 4. Put it in
Okay,
the 4th
4th
spot.
place. All right. Stupenzo, what place do you have on The Grudge?
I'd put it at number 5 just because, you got the same, all this J horror remake stuff happening. It's like The Ring. I know it came out that same year, but it's just like, it was so good. Just spawned all these horrible knockoffs, just like Scream did with the slasher genre and what have you. But yeah, just wasn't that scary. Wasn't that good. And also a useless remake, kind of like they didn't really change a whole lot. It's still set in Japan. Just watch the original. It's fine.
Okay.
Or this is the original. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Still not very scary. I'm not a fan of the sound. Like if I can do the sound, it's not scary.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. This is probably gonna be my number 1 for me. I'll tell you why. So I think this is when I tried watching horror movies by myself when I was in high school. I think I tried watching this one because my parents were asleep and it was me and my brothers and we all were gonna watch it, but they fell asleep halfway through the movie, and so I'm hearing that sound. And the thing is, depending on how you step in the upstairs room, it sounds like that. I'm not gonna lie, I was crying. I was like, Jesus, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to watch you on. The only grudge you should have is against people that sin. And I said, I am so sorry. And the TV turned when I had to turn the TV off on this one. So I mean, it freaked me out. I still can't do the sound at all. And so that's the reason it's my number 1. It trips me out. All right. So next one we got up is Dog Soldiers. All right, Sammy, yeah, so that's how freaked out it was. Let me hold up. What you got for
Number 2.
Number 2?
For me, it's not going to be a surprise. 1 and 2 are going to be The Ring and The Grudge because of the popularity at the time. For me, they're not super scary. I didn't get a lot of enjoyment out of them, but they were popular movies at the time and scared a lot of people.
Okay.
So I'll leave it.
I appreciate
Number
that.
2.
All right. So Sammy, we're at Dog Soldiers now. What do you got for that one?
This is 3. As much as I love it, and it's one of my favorite werewolf movies. I mean, it is also a B film. It's not, but God, is it ever fun? I'd still say it's a solid B film for sure.
Okay. All right. Nadia, what we have for Dog Soldiers?
Dog Soldiers is going in my number 1 spot. Out of the entire list that was given, it's definitely my favorite movie out of all of them. It's also one of my favorite werewolf movies too. Practical effects, baby, 100% of the way. So.
Yeah, I love the look of the wolves.
Okay. All right. And Stupenzo, for Dog Soldiers, what do you give it?
I give it a 4 because even though, you could count all the really good werewolf movies on one hand, and then I'd put this one on the second hand, maybe at the bottom of the first hand. It is a schlocky film, and yeah, it's got some great makeup, and it is, our big introduction to Neil Marshall as a director. But it's fun. I mean, it's just basically, from dusk till dawn with werewolves and a little less of that, a little less nudity and what have you. But yeah, it's a fun movie, and it's a great werewolf movie. But still, I definitely put it in top 10 werewolf movies, maybe top 5. But still, there's just some better ones on this list, I think.
Not the new Wolfman 2025.
Oh yeah.
I gotta see. That's gonna be interesting.
I'm very bummed that it takes place in one day. I was like, werewolf movies have to take place over the course of like months, because you got to learn that you're a werewolf.
So,
all right,
yeah.
my love, what do you have for Dog Soldiers?
I have it at number 5.
Please, God.
I've never seen it, but just judging from the picture, it's a little. I like more realistic horror, so for me, this is a little hokey. And I think who just posted, I like the more realistic
Underworld.
Yeah, I like that. So
the CGI more like.
I don't know, whatever he just said. I like that.
Okay, all right, I gotcha. All right, I will say I'll probably put it in at 3 for Dog Soldiers because it looks practical to me. I kind of would give it probably the edge over an Underworld just because I can clearly see the hands, but it's got a wolf head on there too. I don't know how they move in the movie. I have to check it out, but I'm not gonna put it too high or dog it too low, so I'll put it in as a 3. All right. And so next after that we've got is The Ring. All right, Sammy, start us off. What do you have for The Ring?
I'm gonna have to put this at. I'm gonna put this at 4.
Okay.
I was really happy with the film itself, but I never really bought into the hype as much. Where it was like, oh, you play this cursed videotape, and I got it, and it had cool visuals for the time and everything, but it never really did it for me. But it's still better than The Grudge.
All right, Nadia, what do you give The Ring?
It's number 5 for me.
Okay.
I don't really care for this IP. I saw it when it first hit theaters. I was young enough to go enjoy it, but yeah, it's not memorable. I've never mentioned The Ring nor The Grudge as like a top favorite horror movie to put in my top 10. So,
Stupenzo, what do you got for The Ring?
I put it number 2. I think it really, I had little hope for that movie. It sounded stupid. A videotape you watch, it kills you, but it was way better than I thought it would. And honestly, I think it's better than the original because they add all that cool stuff with like the New England, flair, the horses and all that weird stuff. And it was just good, fun, well-made movie. And also, yeah, the director of Mouse Hunt was the movie, Gore Verbinski. This is before he did the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So this is where you kind of really realize that the guy had some range as a director. And yeah, it was one of the few times because jump scares are cheap. But I remember in the theater when that girl crawls out of the TV, that is not a jump scare. It is slowly happening. And I remember the theater was like, oh my God, like that, like just freaking out. It was so good. And then also Rick Baker doing the makeup for the I Saw Her Face thing. That's one of the best jump scares ever. I saw her face part, when she's in the closet real quickly. It's just such a wild, weird movie. It's good. I liked it.
All right. My love, what do you have for The Ring?
I have it at number 1. Basically, you get a similar experience to Stupenzo here in the theater, hearing people freak out. And it was memorable for the time period that I grew up in. So,
okay. All right. So for me, it's gonna be second for me. Not gonna lie, I saw this movie on bootleg. So. What made it scary was the fact that you could clearly hear people in the background like, "Oh, this bitch is gonna come out the TV." Oh shit, this bitch is coming out the TV, and I was still scared. Even with that, scary. So
was it a bootleg VHS tape? Probably not, though, right? That would have been cool.
Was it a bootleg VHS tape?
No, it was a DVD, and I was so glad it wasn't a VHS. That's how to freak out even more. I know, but yeah, I got that one. All right, so last up we've got is 28 Days Later. Sammy, start us off. What do you got for 28 Days Later?
I'll put this at number 2. I think this is a solid film. I enjoy what they did. I had a lot of fun watching it. I like the concept of like the angry, rage-filled running zombies. And I like I said, there's a lot of shots in it that date it, but I'm interested in seeing the third installment that's supposed to be on the way here as well. So I think it's a good movie.
All right.
It was the first time I heard the band Muse.
What do you got for 28 Days Later?
It's my number 1 movie out of this entire list. I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that it was shot on basically a camcorder, on a very low budget, almost guerrilla style, and I can respect that type of filmmaking. And it turned into a franchise. I wouldn't say successful franchise, but I mean, there's another one coming out next year. So
I was gonna say, do you plan on seeing 28 Years Later?
Yes,
totally.
Okay.
All of it. Yep.
Oh, for sure.
And Stupenzo, what do you got for 28 Days Later?
This is also my number 1 pick because, like, it just looked so unique with the digital cameras, like Nadia said. Also, the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks out there. It turned me on to Granddaddy and Godspeed You Black Emperor. The end song when they get rescued, that's the other thing about this. This is one of the few zombie movies that has a happy ending. And when that guitar's, hitting those little notes when that plane does that flyby, it's just such a great moment, And that's the thing. Unlike everything else on this list, this is actually a great movie. It's not really about horror. It's got it's got the character arcs. It's got the setups. It's got like a really compelling story. And just, it really is sold so well by Danny Boyle. And it revitalized the zombie genre, man. I mean, it made them scarier than ever. Even though they're not zombies, they're the infected. It was just the idea that one drop of blood like turns you into a rage beast instantly was like next level horror show. And I like the sequel. It's not as good, obviously, but man, like I said, I mean, this song holds a personal place in my heart just because of, turning me on to one of my second favorite band of all time, Granddaddy, and then Godspeed You Black Emperor. Like, their music was playing all up in the trailer. I mean, dude, this movie's so good.
Nice. All right, my love. Shira, what do you have for 28 Days Later?
It's number 3 on my list. Zombies don't really do it for me, but it was one of the better zombie movies that infected that I've seen. So 3.
All right. For me, just because of it being the odd man out, it winds up being 5th place for me. I actually I fell asleep on this movie until like they jumped through that window at night. Like, I was asleep for most of the movie until that part. I mean, it did revitalize the infected actually being fast, which is terrifying, but just by the other ones that came out this year, it technically winds up being 5th or 5th place. I am excited to see what they're gonna do for 28 Years Later. But yeah, just for 2002, that one winds up being, my 5th place. Let me see. We definitely asked the chat on this one. And then we had 28 Days Later as his top. We've got Dog Soldiers, another 28 Days Later. And I think I probably want to give to 28 Days Later. So that gives that one to, this was actually pretty tight. Corner.
Yeah, it felt like a good year of like, it had a pretty wide range. I know there was 2 J horror films on there, but like I thought it covered some ground.
Wow. So guys, this is actually really tight. The winner of the 2002's year best movie is 28 Days Later.
Did not see that coming. Did not.
It
see
won
that.
by 1 point.
Sweet validation, Nadia. Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Bubba Hotep next?
No. Wait, hold on. It was I'm sorry. It was by 3 or 4 points. By The Ring was second on here, so it actually hung in there. All right, guys. So for me, I am actually going to be taking over for Best Scare, and I am going to risk a freaking copyright strike on this because I think the only thing with horror movies is you can't tell a jump scare. You almost have to you got to really show it.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like we love horror, but the jump scares, there has to be a payoff for it. All right, so if y'all want to write, I'll tell y'all the movies that I have these from, if that helps it out. I've got Smile, the original one, that second one. I've got Pet Sematary.
The original one?
Yeah.
The original, yeah. I've got Insidious. I've got The Exorcist. And I've got Candyman. Okay.
I think I know the scares for all of these, but I'll be curious.
Yeah, and I wanted to make them universally scary, so that it's not like you're having to choose a new one on there. All right, so let's start with. All right, so I'm going to start this off with Smile.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the thing that I did with Smile was the fact that this is actually the jump scare in the preview.
Yeah.
Which still freaking got me. All right.
Screamed.
Why
in the theater. Okay.
No, it's not what we're here about. All right, guys. So this is the scene from Smile. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit with a copyright. Here we go. So basically, it's the main character. She's actually reeling from the fact that she's being isolated because she's seeing these terrible images, and she's just left her sister's house to get in her car, who she deems her sister is kind of a prick, really, in the movie. And so they just got into an argument, and here is her sister coming back to tell her and another thing. So here we go.
And the swing.
Yo. I was just mad that she knocked on the door because she knew she wasn't paying attention. Like, hey, you gotta look at this. And her head ticks down and goes sideways. All right. Next one I've got is Pet Sematary. So I saw the remake with you.
You saw the... Oh, yeah, because I cried a little on the remake. Yeah.
So she was like, well, we'll check it out and kind of see and compare on that one. So this one we've got is from... This is actually... So in the remake, they switched it out that the boy dies and it's the daughter that gets possessed.
No, it's the little girl who gets... In the remake, it's the little girl who gets possessed.
So in the original, it's actually the boy. So this is a Gage when he kills Judd.
Oh, yeah. Herman Munster, no.
No. Oh, I can't watch this. The back of the knee.
Every single time.
Hostel has a good one, and what else? Yeah, some good ones, man.
Where did you?
Like I just raised my legs up. I was like, no.
Every part of me is tingling.
Oh, gross. I did not know it was a scalpel for that one. All right, so for the next one, we got Insidious, and this was I guess the first real reveal of something that was actually paranormal, because up until this time, all we'd seen was drawings, and then there was that medium that just looked up at the top of the wall and freaked out. So here's the first reveal that we get from Insidious, the red demon. Here we go.
Baby.
I can still hear that voice.
That's who I should have painted my face today as.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
It was so simple yet seemingly so effective.
People would have thought I was Darth Maul too. So.
All right, so this one I was trying to figure. I learned this wasn't like in the original cut or something like that for The Exorcist. That in some versions that they don't have this scene on here for The Exorcist.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people say they saw it. I'm not sure if I remember seeing it when I saw it with you, but this is the spider walk from The Exorcist.
Yeah, no, it was released when they re-released it, like the director's cut.
All right, so here's the spider walk. Here we go. Ugh.
God, I wish my body could do that now. I'm too old for that shit.
It's bleeding at the end of the gap for me. All right. And for this one, we've got Candyman. And I think this is one of the few movies where they really do set you up early with the that mirror on the other side. So this is, I guess this is race baited foreplay, I guess. Ma'am, you said this is the lover's movie or the romance. It was romantic.
I said he comes on, has like a romantic air about him.
The bees in his mouth. Okay.
But the reason he died was because of love.
Okay.
Anyway.
This man is the original Tyrell for White Chicks. All right, so here we go with the jump scare for Candyman. Here we go. All right, so that was after
like
that
a giant bee sting breaking through the wall.
Right.
How the fur on his jacket.
All right, so we'll start it off. I want to hear all you guys. Honey, you want to go first? What do you give the jump scare for Candyman?
It's probably number. Okay, sorry. It's probably number 3 for me.
Okay, that's 3.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of points in this movie. They use the jump scare quite a bit in this movie.
Effectively, too.
Yeah, effectively. I mean, you jumped a lot when we watched it yesterday. My dad ruined horror movies for me. He just said, there's a camera behind it. And so I really kind of like anticipate when it's going to happen. So it's a 3 for me because I think they did do them well.
Okay. All right. So, Sammy, what do you have for the Candyman jump scare?
I mean, it is it's solid. Yeah, I'm definitely the guy who ruins jump scares when you watch movies with me, because I will announce them when they're going to happen. You can tell when the camera starts to zoom in on them and the music gets all quiet, and then I'm just like, I get it. So this is solid. I'll give it a 3. There's other ones that took me off guard a little bit more, but definitely thought this was interesting, more like kind of in the veil of like a Freddy Krueger type of jump scare where definitely more surreal.
Okay. All right. And Nadia, what do you give the jump scare for Candyman?
I'm gonna put it at a number 5 for me on this one. Yeah. I don't have an explanation. I just have it at a number 5.
You know what? I will give Candyman a 3 on here, just because I thought they would do a thing where she'd close the mirror, and he'd be back there. She'd turn around and it wasn't there. I know he's gonna throw his whole damn hook through the medicine cabinet.
Yeah, I think it's the whole misdirect of that is why it's not any lower.
Yeah, I was like, I will give that. See the next one. Then we
wait. Did Enzo go? Enzo.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I put the screen right over your face. My bad, dude.
I'd have to put this just on jump scares. It's number 1 because, like you said, it comes out of nowhere, scares the crap out of you, and unlike the other scenes, it actually kicks off a horror scene as opposed to the classic jump scare. Oh, it's nothing. I want it to kick off a scary scene, like, oh my god, we're in terror mode now, and it comes out of nowhere, and the hand cook just bursts through the mirror for no reason, and it's I mean, it's an effective jump scare. Comes, like I said, it just gets you. It gets me. I don't know.
Okay, Candyman starting out strong. Okay, all right. So next one we've got is take this out. Hold on 1 second here. All right, next one we've got up is, I guess, let me have at least an appropriate picture here. The spider walk that we've got here. And all right, so sure, what do you give for the spider walk?
Did you go on the other one?
I give it a 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For me, this isn't a jump scare, so it's down on my list. I think it's creepy, but I don't know if it necessarily is like what I would consider a jump scare.
Okay.
So it is number 4.
Okay, give it 4. All right. Sammy3peat, what do you got for the spider walk scene, good sir?
Even though this is one of my favorite movies, I'm gonna have to give this a 5 because I remember when they re-released the movie and they're like, then this was too scary to be shown in theaters. And I was like, really? This was the part that was just too much for everyone, like the whole thing she did with the cross and everything, but like that made it in. But like the spider walking upside down and a little bit of blood coming out of her mouth, that's what the audience couldn't handle. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And Nadia, what do you give it?
It's gonna be a number 4 for me. It's just not as I don't know. It's just not as scary as a couple of the other ones. So.
All right. Stupenzo, what do you got for it?
Yeah, I'd put it at number 4 just because it's not really a jump scare as much as like a WTF moment. The big jump scare for me in The Exorcist is when the candle like ignites for no reason. But like I said, that kind of doesn't really do anything. That's like not much to behold. But also, yeah, the fact that they added into the movie, this was reshot for the director's cut. It wasn't even, this is a better scene. Now, one thing that is creepy is in the book, they talk about how Reagan walks around like the spider all the time and she's like chasing the nanny, licking her ankles and stuff. That's creepy. And I wish that was in the movie more, but I feel like this scene really ruins the because you find out the big revelation that the guy fell out the window. He was up there probably watching Reagan, and you find out that he's dead. He fell down those stairs, and then this happens, and it doesn't give you time to digest like the information you just got. It's kind of like a cheap scare, really.
Yeah,
and there's so many other, like the vomiting, the pea soup is like matter of a jump scare. When I think of a jump scare, it's got to make you jump. This kind of like you kind of don't even realize what you're looking at first, and then it happens, and then your mouth opens and it's bleeding, and then you cut to that awkward mother, and then the scene just kind of ends, and it just kind of leaves you confused and like, what the hell was that? It's best left on the cutting room floor, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll put this in 5th. I think it's probably the camera angle that might have did it in. Had they just shown her from the top of the stairs and she turned around, contorted, and then went down the stairs, I think it would have been a little more scary to me. I still have it as 5th. I didn't know how everyone felt about it because I heard that they had to put this in as the scene that was too scary to show in theaters. So I just wanted to get what y'all thought about that one as well. Ooh. All right. And next up, we've got, the reveal of the red demon here. As soon as I can pull a damn picture of it up. And, all right, whatever.
Let it go.
I probably should just do that. You're right. And I'll just pause until I get to it. All right, so the reveal of the red demon. All right, honey, what are you thinking for the reveal for the red demon for Insidious?
It is number. Oh wait. Oh, darn. Okay. I guess I need to change my vote. Am I gonna mess you up? It doesn't matter. It's not number 1, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I guess this one for me, I'm gonna put it at number. Oh. I guess no. I don't. Ugh. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna put it at number 5. Okay.
5th place.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And it's only because I just feel like I don't know. It's been done. It's it didn't do a whole lot for me, honestly. And given the list that there is, I clearly I'm torn between some things. So for me, I mean, it's a good reveal. But is it the scariest jump scare? Nah.
Okay. All right. Sammy, what do you got for your jump scare?
I'm gonna put it at 4. All the scares in this movie, this wasn't the one that like really got to me. I prefer much more like when you hear the demon like creaking over the bed. I actually the story that the mom was telling when the demon's like looming over the kid when he's sleeping, I think is scarier than the actual jump scare. Not really a jump scare guy. It was like this kind of the only one that ever really actually made me like jump was the clap in The Conjuring. I thought that was brilliant. But yeah.
All right.
And Dempsey is right. It's a dumb looking thing. Wherever he's at. It's dumb. It looks like Jimmy from down the street. I don't know. It looks like he got an earring on.
It's a hipster demon.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Even the haircut is weird.
So you would just basically put this demon down. You shame the demon into leaving. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
I can just see Shiro like, that's all you got?
Yeah. Like, yank his earring out.
He goes listen to Tiny Tim and cries like, I thought it was scary.
And I think too, you can kind of tell it's just like a painted face, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me.
I will say this: it's going to be 2 for me, just because it was simple, and the thing is, you'd shown the shot before, and I think this is one of the few movies where if you didn't do the sound with it, if you just showed it, I think you'd still gotten the same reaction. Plus, for me, it's like we went almost, I think, 30 minutes, without seeing anything really concrete, and the fact that I was expecting the kid to see it or the medium to see it, and it's her instead, would freak me out even more. So I'll give that one. That's
did you get other people? Are you still missing Nadia and Enzo?
No, went up.
You did? Are you sure?
Yeah.
No.
I was.
No, you went down.
Yeah, you.
Enzo and I haven't gone yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my mind, y'all. Sorry. Nadia, please go. I'm sorry.
So this is going to be number 1 spot for me because on execution, it's a tactical jump scare. During 2010, a lot of horror depended on CGI at the time. And this was a nice, refreshing take doing practical effects with just the makeup effects, especially at the budget that they had. This is also iconic. It's pop culture. Like people who don't even know what Insidious is knows that this scene takes place in it. So yeah, it's going to be number 1 for me.
She had the most logical rebuttal for everything. That was good. She made me want to change my answer.
Sorry, Enzo's about to tear me down. It's okay.
Yeah.
Stupenzo, what do
I'd
you
put
got?
I'd put it at number 5 just because, like I said, it's just a big nothing burger. It's like guys standing, and yeah, everyone. I mean, I remember seeing this in theaters, everyone freaking out, and me just being like, "They look like Darth Maul," and then nothing happens. Again, it's one of those fake out jump scares. It's cheap. It's just a guy. You could have had the makeup look like anything. It could have been an old guy in a top hat with Undertaker makeup. It doesn't matter what the demon looked like. Could have been an old lady. Doesn't matter. It's just like you're shown the back of this guy, Patrick Wilson. Then you cut to the lady. Then you cut to the other guy, and there's a loud noise. And then you cut to the lady, and she stands up and freaks out, and then there's nothing there. And it's just like, okay, all right. So cheap. It's cheap. It was and very obviously, it pierced the cultural zeitgeist. But so did all these other scenes, really. But yeah, as much as I was lambasting Exorcist, this is just a little less. Just because The Exorcist is a damn classic movie, I felt bad putting it in 4th place. I don't feel bad putting this in 5th place. This is not a good movie, I didn't think. So.
Oh, I love this movie.
Rick
Fuck you, Enzo.
It's okay. We can still be friends.
You're off next Saturday. Fuck this.
No.
Okay. So now we got everybody, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did you write them all down, honey?
I did. We're going to do bottom up.
I'm going to have to put you in a home next time.
And now everyone's going to see this stream and be like, yeah, that tracks. He's losing his damn mind.
Exhibit A, this stream.
All right. So next up we've got is Pet Sematary, the homie Gage taking out an Achilles. Let's start from the bottom up so I don't forget. Stupenzo, what do you got for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to have to put this in number 2 just because it's one of those scenes that really sticks with you. And it's not really a classic, like, boo, real quick jump scare, but like I said, I love it when the jump scare kicks off a scary scene. You know, you're being attacked, and then you get the mouth slice right after this, and little boy with a razor blade under the bed. It's just bad. It's just a very it's just old school, and it's just one of those scenes that just still makes me wince every time you think about it. So yeah, I would just put it in number 2 spot.
All right. Nadia, what do you give this scene for Pet Sematary?
I'm gonna follow Enzo on this one. It's number 2 for me. All pretty much for the same reasons. I actually don't kind of consider this a jump scare because there's definitely telltale signs that this is something's going to happen. in this realm, especially with the lighting used in the scene. But it's still like I can't even look at the screen right now. It's just like I'm like my toes are curling. I can't.
Oh.
So yeah,
it's so deep.
Oh,
I'm gonna change the photo. I'm just having me a hard time too. I'm gonna just I'm gonna leave it here because that was
church.
There we go. I'll just leave it on the cat. Sammy, what do you got for Pet Cemetery?
Yeah, this is number one for me. That scene legitimately scared the crap out of me. I think I saw this movie when I was like in 6th grade. I was like inconsolable after I saw this movie.
No fair.
Yeah, this is my number one for sure.
All right. And okay, honey, which one do you give for Georgie or for Gage killing Georgie?
Yeah, so this is actually my number one, but when I thought about it, so you did this replay, and I was like, I thought it happened a lot quicker than that. I must have been just so freaked out when I was watching the movie that it felt like a jump scare, because clearly I was like, oh, I kind of know this is happening. He definitely sticks his little hand out there. Like, but for me, it's number one.
Okay. All right. It's probably going to be 4 for me, just because I think like I said,
You didn't see the original.
That's why I'm saying it's more so because I didn't see the original. I think it's more of like a jump scare, like, oh, no, move out of the way. I think it's one of those, like a jump thing for that. Like you're jumping because you're like, no, he's going to cut your Achilles and then it's gone. Just really creepy. I'll have to watch the original to see how that scene takes place in the context of the whole thing on there.
But also, it could have been like for me the nostalgia of it a bit. Like I said, I remember being thoroughly scared in that moment. So,
all right, and so we didn't do everyone. All right, so last one we've got on here is the car jump scare scene. I timed that one perfectly. Yes. Okay. Car jump scene from Smile. All right, Stupenzo, what are you giving this scene for you?
Yeah, this goes in the number 3 spot because, like I said, it doesn't really kick off anything, and it is freaky and weird, but it was ruined by the trailers. It was like you knew this was coming. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer, and that really freaked me out. But then, of course, like we said, like once you see the big reveal, we cut to the exterior of the car, and we realize there's nothing there. And it's just like, okay, she's losing her mind. We get it. But it's still very, very weird and unexpected for sure. So yeah, number 3 spot.
Okay. All right. And Nadia, what do you give this scene from Smile?
Well, the only spot open for me is number 3. It's very good. I'm with Enzo. There's a lot of this movie that is in their trailers that they should have not had shown. I think the movie would have been a little bit more impactful had they not. But yeah. And also, by the way, the sequel doesn't live up to it. It's not worth seeing in theaters. Thank you and goodbye.
What? So we're going to have to discuss this.
I think our next video is going to be a debate on this movie then. Okay. Wow. All right. Stupenzo, what do you give it
I already
for?
I already voted it.
I'm sorry.
Going
backwards.
Yeah.
Sammy, what do you give this movie?
What's the one that I have open?
Wait, what?
Oh, you gonna have to guess, brother.
Ooh,
you don't know that.
I'll provide what I had down here. I guess you gave something a 3. Your 1 was.
You already gave Pet Cemetery a 1.
Yeah.
You gave Insidious 5. I'm pretty sure.
I might have to change my Insidious.
Yeah. You might have 2 open, 2 or 3. So just pick one.
Yeah, I don't like this film at all. Yeah,
sounds like a 5 there.
Yeah, this is gonna have to be a 5 for me, and then I'll bump whatever was at 5.
Okay.
It's fine, honey. Just give it the 5 points.
5 points?
No, for the 5th place points. Okay.
The 5th place. Sorry. Yeah, I'm bumping this. I dislike this movie so much I forgot it was on the list.
I should have built you a spreadsheet.
I'm not taking no freaking spreadsheet from you, okay? I hate those things.
Yeah, so yeah, then I'll move The Exorcist 1 to the 3. And then that'll be fine.
What, this movie didn't make you smile?
No, do the opposite.
Yeah, I didn't really care for this movie either. And part two, it wasn't great, but part two is better than the first one. I think I like the setting, the whole pop culture, celebrity stuff worked better. If part two had been part one, I think that would have been cool. If but I don't know.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I don't think it's a movie worth paying movie
True.
ticket prices to see, because it follows the same beats as the first one so closely.
My local shitty theater in my town is like $6 tickets, no reserve seating, so I go to a lot of movies there. It's fun.
Nice.
Oh,
I miss theaters like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know Smile was going to get utterly disrespected like this. I wish I'd have saved my one for something more deserving.
Honestly, the first one is great. I love the first one. I think it is one of the best films of 2022 for the horror genre. It's original. It had practical effects. The big reveal at the end, that's all practical. So like, I really loved it.
Yeah,
the second one is not,
look cool.
The second one's just not. It doesn't live up. Like, it's not worth the ticket price. It's worth
the second one has like a Terminator 3 ending, though. Which is like, the movie's not great, but the ending's like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah. All right, so Smile obviously was my number one. First of all, because when Shiro's cousin told me about watching the preview, I didn't know what was happening. So when I saw this in the preview, I threw my phone. And then which made it even worse when I was told I screamed when this happened actually in the theater, because I forgot this scene was even in here from the previews, and then that happened. So yeah, that was my number one on this one. So, all right, Shira, are you right? Huh?
It's my number two.
Huh? You're number two. All right. I knew it was like the points look really low.
It's my number two. I think it's a classic jump scare. Yes, they showed it in the trailer. The one thing I will say in this movie, I feel like they did a good job of. I remember us leaving the theater and saying they did a good job of not overutilizing the jump scare. There were a lot of points where you thought it was going to happen and then they didn't use it. So for me, this was well placed. I wish they would not have shown it in the trailer.
That is true. All right. So for the audience pick, I'm double checking back up here to see where people had theirs. I think Gord might have had his for Insidious.
No, he has. So there's Dempsey and there's Gord.
All right. So Dempsey's got Pet Sematary as his number one. Gord's also got his for Pet Sematary as number one. So that'll add 2 to Pet Sematary for the viewer's choice on that one. So, okay, got everyone's ready. All right,
yes,
there we go.
You got it.
The winner for the best jump scare is Smile. No, I'm joking. It's Pet Sematary.
Wow.
I was like, anyway, yeah, that one
definitely
definitely
by a woman too. Directed by a woman.
Yeah.
Well done. I mean, that one scored 22 points, and I think that's probably the one that scored the highest outside of The Exorcist at 24. All right, so guys, that will conclude the award show for the first ever annual Scary Movie Awards. I am going to give everyone a round robin on this one to tell what you got up. Nadia, why don't you go ahead and go first?
I have a horror channel that every Tuesday I go live doing a segment on horror news. I'll be dropping some reviews this week, hopefully. We'll see if I have the time. And then you can catch me tomorrow on Leon's stream for the Hot Man tier. And then also on my pop culture channel, Inside All Day, I'll be discussing The Penguin, episode 5. So
very, very nice. Very nice. Stupenzo, you are up next, sir. What you got?
Well, we'll be live streaming later tonight after Gooch's stream, midnight-ish. We'll be doing the more another Halloween-themed stream, just goofing off, talking about movies and what have you, and maybe some politics. Who knows? And then, yeah, every Wednesday I've got a also stream Monday, I think, but I also got live streams here and there. And every Wednesday we do a kind of we watch commentary, watch along video. We're doing a bunch of lame, schlocky horror movies that are allowed on YouTube that I don't need to edit this time. So. Last week we had a weird one called The Cellar that was pretty fun about a racist Native American monster that kills white people living in some kid's cellar. This week we got this week we got Chopping Mall, completely unedited except for a few booby shots I had to censor. But yeah, That one's about killer robot security guards running around a mall, killing a bunch of party animals in a night of terror. So yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah.
Not bad at all. All right. Oh, and I got everyone's YouTube links in the description of this live as well, so you guys can check them out. Man, Sammy3peat, what do you got, good sir?
I have a channel on YouTube that sometimes I put things on. I have a live show that I'm editing that I will be adding to my channel sometime soon. Otherwise, you can find me on everybody else's stuff. Normally, you would find me on Nadia's channel doing the Penguin, but I have a bunch of musicians coming to my house tomorrow to use my jam space. So I have a feeling that's gonna interrupt the stream. So I'll be back
your house.
Oh yeah,
your wife is such a trooper, dude.
Oh, this isn't even my band. This is, I'm doing this as a favor to my drummer. It's his band, his other band that they're doing like this act for Halloween. And I told him that he could use it. His drum.
What a pal.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure I'll get a couple beers next time we're out. But yeah, otherwise, you can find me usually on Diabolical Souls. I just started a show called Tinfoil Hatters with Leon, where we discuss different conspiracy theories and I don't know, just basically have a good time. And then you can also I'm pretty regular on Enzo's channel as well, so you know, turn around, I'll probably be there.
All right. And fantastic sign in the background, sir. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. All right, so I guess it's us on us now. Again, Left Eye E.G.O for this one. We've got our usually on every other Sunday we are doing our Ordinary Gains podcast. This will take the place of it for this one, so we'll be on in about another 2 weeks. I got my own channel on here. I did my very first Disney grievances, and Beauty and the Beast was the source of my grievances. So check that out as well, because there's actually only one person that is not trash in that entire movie. So guys, links for everyone's YouTubes are in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we are out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.